What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a Monday morning edition of the KBO Collections Hobby Drive. This is a rather overcast, cool morning today, actually. We've made it down into the 60s again, so I'm going to put that in the cool category. Of course, I had a little bit of a conversation with Steve about cool and all that, and he's true. It's very different for everyone. Kind of what he said is kind of where I'm at. From about 40 degrees and 40 to 70 is kind of cool to me. Below that's cold. Above 70s, kind of like the surface of the earth, or surface of the sun, not the earth. Man, it's Monday morning. Hard to get going. Drank some coffee too late yesterday because I had to go shopping later at night, and I drank some coffee then, and well, let's just say that it clouded my brain this morning. I didn't sleep too well. But anyway, so what is the point of today's hobby drive? Well, some new developments have come in the hobby presidential race with Mr. John Mangini. By the way, don't be a weenie, vote Mangini. So one of the things that came up is he said, what position, what appointment would you be, interested in taking if he becomes president? And I said, well, and he mentioned the ambassador to Korean collectors. And I said, well, that's actually pretty good. I've always fancied myself to be a bit of an ambassador. Even so, funny story, I've even been confused with the actual real former ambassador in Korea as well. So took many selfies as him, even signed autographs as him. Of course, the people, once they looked at the ball, if they could read George, they probably were like, who the hell is this? But anyway, I obliged them. I'm an ambassador. So how did that all come about? Well, the former ambassador, Mr. Mark Lippert, he's a Doosan Bears fan. I'm a Doosan Bears fan. He would go to a lot of games. I would go to a lot of games. So sometimes games when he wasn't there, people would see me walking around and they would think that I was him. And they would come up and, oh, Lippert, that's what they would call me, because that's what they called him, just last name Lippert. So they would come running up to me and ask if they could take a photo. Sure. I'd, get in there, take a little selfie. A lot of times they'd have a ball or a ticket or something. They'd be like, sign. They'd pass it over to me, pass a marker to me, and I would just, put my script on there, and away we would go. So yeah, that's something that happened quite often. So ambassador to Korea would be a good position for me. So yeah. So anyway, but what I was going to talk about card related today is actually Korean card related, but it is not sports card related. It is what we would call war or propaganda related. So actually, I've told you that I do, a bit of collecting of non-sports stuff. And I said that I was going to show you some of the non-sports stuff that I collect sometimes. Well, I don't have any to show because I'm driving in my automobile. But what I do have is a little bit of knowledge up here about the set that I can share with you. So actually, one of the sets that I collect is the Topps 1950 Freedom's War and Battleground Korea. So actually there are 1950s Topps cards from Korea, or about the Korean War. And once I discovered that, I like to collect things Korea and things Korean. So I saw that and I was like, that's pretty freaking cool. I'm going to start picking up some of those. So I started picking up those as I see them cheaply. And I only have like 12, okay? And the series has 152 cards. So it's a 152 card series, and I have 12. So there's still like 140 to go if I want to build the complete set. And who knows? I might eventually. Like I said, I've just been picking them up one at a time here and there cheaply, and I started doing that. Back during the COVID years. I think it was probably in 2020 when I actually started buying them, because everything was so expensive and they were still relatively cheap. And I was like, so started buying some 1950 Topps Freedom's War Battleground Korea cards. Pretty cool stuff. One of the reasons why I liked them and started buying them was I loved reading the stories on the back of them, and how seeing how they spelled things, because I live here, so I know how we spell things now. I know how to spell them in Korean, I know how to spell them in English, but beyond that, like the names of towns, the romanization, the spelling and things like that, it's changed a lot over the years, let's just say that. I believe that came about, there have been multiple changes over the years with the romanization, but I believe in 1988, during the Seoul Olympics, or leading up to the Seoul Olympics in 1988, they tried to bring about a more standardized romanization so that people from other countries could kind of have an idea of where they were going or where they were and all of that. So now, with all of that said, I find it much easier to read Hangul, Korean, than to read romanized Hangul, because the romanization doesn't always make sense. Like the alphabet and all that, the sounds don't always make sense, but I see it in Korean, the sound is there, the sound makes sense, okay? So anyway, that's a set that I dabble in a bit, have 12 cards, so not a whole lot of cards, but at the same time, it's that I have, but it's 152 card set. So I encourage you to take a look at it sometime if you're ever curious. So that's about that. So please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Oh, before I go, I'm going to leave you with about a 2 or 3 minute clip of my fish just doing their thing. So you can end it right here, or you can watch my fish for about 2 or 3 minutes. So anyway, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. Catch you on the next one. Peace.